They are being starved. They are thirsty, only given 1 cup of water per day, are denied bathroom privileges, are denied medical attention. People in ICE concentration camps are losing their lives. And don't even think about saying FAFO, fuck around and find out, to these people in ICE detention centers. It is a shame that members of the Black community started the trend, and so many other people followed. This is an updated voting poll. Updated. Brown people voted for Kamala Harris more. But you fall for the colonizers' divisive tactics, the inaccurate voting polls, the initial propaganda. It is immature and immoral to be centering that type of behavior in response to a community that is being mass deported, imprisoned in concentration camps, and tossed out of the country to who knows where without any rights or contact to any lawyer or family. When we should be focused on solidarity, and this has to stop immediately. Especially those of you who claim to be activists perpetuating this FAFOBS nonsense.
When people are deported, anger has to go somewhere, and lately some of that anger is being aimed at the Black Americans. Today we are going to talk about why that happens, and more importantly, why this narrative is not only wrong but dangerous.
This Mexican lady, and then I went to her page and she doubled down and literally said that they helped us during the Civil War, which is a lie, and the Mexicans helped free the slaves. First of all, Mexico had slavery themselves that wasn't abolished until 1829 or 1830 or something, somewhere around there. And the president that abolished slavery in Mexico was Afro-Indigenous. I don't know why they keep leaving that part out. He looked more like a negro than he looked like. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And when we were down there, we was fighting beside them. We was helping to protect their borders. They conveniently leave that out. All this civil rights, nobody that was not fighting with us for civil rights. Is a lie and a scam, not as a collective. And they know a lot of them are anti-Black. It is so crazy that they keep blaming us. First of all, we've been saying fuck around and found out, just like we've been saying a whole bunch of other shit that they co-opt and steal and turn into something else. Why do they keep blaming us and centering us when we are not the ones that's putting them in concentration camps? We do not yield, nor do we hold the power to deport them. They are focusing on the wrong people. Why y'all not mad at MAGA? Why y'all not sticking it to the white man? I mean, we just got to call it a spade a spade. It's so weird that the Mexican and the Latino community keeps coming for Black people.
As a Somali American who lives in Minnesota, it's really disheartening to hear and to read comments about my community, to hear people write, "Go home." To those people, I want you to know that America is home. I have lived in America since I was 7 years old. So when you tell me to go home, I think, okay, do they want me to go to Minneapolis, where I first lived, or maybe to St. Paul, or Brooklyn Park? Again, we are your neighbors. We are your teachers. We are your principals. We are your lawyers. We are you can fill in the blank. We are Minnesotans.
So Somalis aren't just welfare queens in America, they're welfare queens all over the world. I want you to listen to some of these numbers. In Norway, 73% of Somali immigrants are on government aid. In Sweden, 64% of Somali immigrants do not have jobs or education. In Denmark, 69% of Somali immigrants are on public benefits. And in America, according to President Donald Trump, 88% of Somali immigrants in the United States of America right now rely on a welfare program. So the question is, not only why are we bringing in so many people that are just coming here and becoming dependents of the state? The other question is, why are we bringing so many people here that become left-wing activists, start talking crap about America, and then all of a sudden start scamming the local and federal government to enrich themselves? I can go story after story after story. There's a woman in Minnesota right now that's living in a $1 million house that was paid for by laundered government money, and the partner, her husband, who bought the house, his name is still on it, but he has fled somewhere else. They can't find him. We all know the feeding our children scandal that's going on in Minnesota right now, where they've literally stolen hundreds of billions of dollars from local and federal governments. So the question is, why are we importing so many people from Somalia into America?
Now, as somebody who used to live in Minnesota, I can tell you right now, Somalians are there for birthright citizenship. If you guys weren't aware, the Somalians have come to claim their birthright citizenship. Now, as you guys already know, the Trump administration has initiated their ICE raids in Minnesota, but the Somalians are fighting back. Now, according to CBS News, where you can pause to read this, the Trump administration is attempting to have ICE raids in Minnesota and are checking the green card holders of Somalian residents who live there. And little does the Trump administration know that the mass majority of Somalians who live in Minnesota are U.S. citizens. And every year, sometime around this year, apparently they do their pilgrimage to the Target Center. And based off of the rhetoric of the Somalians across social media, they're stating that although the Trump administration has implemented these ICE raids, they are willing to work with him to do a two-state solution. I'm not entirely sure why Donald Trump thought that this was going to be easy pickings with Somalians in Minnesota. I'm not entirely sure why he thought that. But little does he know that being that Somalians, their birthright is Minnesota, they're going to fight to the very end for their land. Because isn't that what you're supposed to do when you're being hostily invaded? Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
Somalis are reclaiming their ancestral homeland of Minnesota, and it's making people mad. And while it's not inherently anti-Somaliitic to criticize Minnesota,
This is not an attack on anyone. This is about facts, responsibility, and what actually controls deportation. Over the past few weeks, we have seen deportees openly say things like, Black Americans don't help us. They don't speak for us anymore. They are the reason we are being sent back. And I understand where that emotion comes from. Deportation is traumatic. People lose families, stability, and even identity. But pain does not make a claim true. So the real question is this. Why are Black Americans being blamed at all? Let's watch this clips compilation and then I'll come back with more comments.
Being from Miami, I don't know how to feel about Cubans being in their find out era. Because they took over Miami, and it was to the point where you couldn't even find a job unless you spoke Spanish. And even if you spoke Spanish and you wasn't Cuban, you wasn't getting that job. And I give them a lot of credit because before their family or friends would leave Cuba, they would already have a job, a car, and a place to stay by the time they reached Miami. Like, they really set up their people very, very well. They even had a wet foot, dry foot policy. Where they messed up at was thinking that they thought becoming a Republican was going to make them turn. And the whole time they're speaking Spanish. And a majority of them didn't even bother to learn English, but yet they thought they were. And my main question is, what is the difference between Fidel Castro and 45?
The first reason is misunderstanding of who actually has power in America. Black Americans as a group do not control immigration law. They do not decide who gets deported. They don't run ICE. They don't issue removal orders. Blaming Black Americans for deportation is like blaming passengers for a plane crash. So, the confusion about citizenship. Another reason is confusion about citizenship versus the immigration status. Black Americans are not deportable because they are citizens by birth. Not because someone is protecting them. Not because they were helped, but because the Constitution guarantees it. It is not a privilege. It is citizenship. Let's talk about where it becomes dangerous. When deportation anger is aimed at Black Americans, it does three things. It protects the real system. The actual institutions responsible disappear from the conversation. It creates division between groups with no power. People start fighting sideways instead of upward. So it normalizes misinformation. And misinformation spreads faster than actually facts when people are hurting.
Like, why is it that they don't go back to hold themselves and whoever they voted for accountable? Why are they always coming back to Black folks and saying, oh, if Kamala was the president, all of these things that are being exposed right now wouldn't have even been exposed. So many of these things would have still, be happening without anybody knowing about it. This, that, like, literally calling out people who actually are even sympathetic about what is happening, because literally we've seen a lot of Black folks even making videos about Renee Gold and everything that happened to her and all of that. But most immigrants just learn their lessons, and yeah, Black Americans need to just let them. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I like the fact that they are actually minding their business right now and saying, like, enough is enough. We're not doing this with you, or we're just going to focus on our community, focus on black community, black owned businesses, build our thing and all of that. Go to spa, go on that vacation, just have fun as black Americans, like, right? So this one said, black Americans not putting on capes to defend and rescue communities whose entire existence was anti-black is what the issue is. Okay, that's what the issue is. Anti-no black and brown coalition, that's a wrap. Okay, leave us black Americans out of UMS while we focus on ourselves. Okay, and she said, this one said, she needs to have a fireside chat with Latinos for sure. Okay, and this one said they're trying to use us as a scapegoat, okay, because they are too cowardly to call out the people who are deporting and taking their people, just deflecting. Because you cannot be calling on people who have done nothing, but you keep calling on people who the people who have done something to you. You're not calling them out. You're not taking responsibility. You're not even saying, oh, what you guys are doing to us is bad. Instead, you're calling on black Americans who did nothing.
No group owes another group protection from immigration law. Solidarity is not a responsibility. And blaming black Americans will not reverse a deportation order. Let's continue with the clips, guys.
As a white person, as a black person, as anyone, how?
So I was going to put this as a comment, but you already have thousands of comments on there, and I don't see this as a problem. We know it's a problem. We know it's an issue. We're just tired. We told you. We told you, and not you as specifically you. We told you as the country what is going to happen. We knew this was going to happen, and people still voted him into office. You don't need to talk to black people and ask black people where we are and why we aren't doing anything and why we aren't standing up, because black people have always been standing up.
Black Americans, have y'all noticed something? How we getting attacked by all these immigrant groups here in America? We getting attacked by the Mexicans. We getting attacked by the Africans. We getting attacked by the Caribbeans. We getting attacked by the Venezuelans. We getting attacked by all these, and even the Indians now coming at us sideways. Now that's crazy. Even the Indians coming at sideways. But what's funny, we tried to be allied to these people for decades on this land. For decades on this land. Now, we've been trying to tell them, like, listen, y'all trying to get close to whiteness. Them people don't like y'all. They gonna turn on y'all. Oh, shut up. You don't know no better. You work hard. You don't work hard. We work hard. They want us because we work hard. Now they getting a wake-up call. And guess what they doing? They running to black Americans for help. Hey, I thought we was brothers. What about the black and brown community? Hey, brother, me and you are African. Me and you are African. You my brother. You supposed to stand with us. That's what they doing now. It's a reason why them Africans keep telling us lately that we African. And reason why they saying that because they want to crowbar their way into black American society so they can be protected. No. At the beginning, y'all say we ain't African. Y'all say we ain't have no culture. Y'all say all these disparaging things.
If someone wants to talk about deportation, honestly, the conversation has to include immigration law, criminal convictions, visa overstays, we have removal orders, and court decision, not racial blame. And clearly, this is not happening in these conversations. I understand the pain behind this anger. But aiming the pain at black Americans is not only unfair, but it also keeps people from understanding the system that actually controls their fate. So if we want real conversations about deportation, they have to be based on the truth, not just targets. If you found this breakdown useful, kindly consider joining our family by hitting the subscribe button. Also like the videos and tell me what you think on the comments section. Do you think anger over deportation is being aimed at the wrong people? Give your views respectively on the comment section. Thank you for watching up to this point. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.